The Fantastic Four. First Steps is more than just an origin story. This retro-futuristic film, steeped in the vibrant spirit of the 1960s, weaves together science, family, and a cosmic threat. Marvel's first family faces off against Galactus, the devourer of worlds, and his herald, the Silver Surfer. As the danger becomes personal, the drama intensifies. Can the heroes balance their superpowers with their family bonds? Will this new take live up to Marvel's legacy? Get ready. This is the start of an epic era. It all begins on Earth, 838. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and his wife, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, receive joyful news. Sue is pregnant. After 2 years of failed attempts to start a family, their dream comes true. But their happiness is soon overshadowed by new challenges. The scene shifts to a grand ceremony celebrating the 4th anniversary of the Fantastic Four's formation. There, we learn the team's origin. 4 daring explorers, Dr. Reed Richards, his best friend Ben Grimm, his wife Sue Storm, and her brother Johnny Storm, embarked on a cosmic expedition that changed their lives forever. During that mission, they encountered an unexpected cosmic storm that altered their DNA. Back on Earth, they began to manifest extraordinary abilities. In time, they became the Fantastic Four. Just days after their transformation, they faced colossal monsters and trials that tested their resilience and unity. Among their most memorable feats were battles against the Mole Man and the Mad Thinker, as well as a victory over the Red Ghost and his Super Ape. They also forged a peace agreement with the Mole Man. After the celebration, we see them preparing for a family dinner with their loyal and efficient robot assistant, Herby Sue, and Reed arrives slightly late. A joke about their tardiness briefly throws Sue off, sparking laughter and suspicion. Noticing this, the others begin to piece together the truth. Finally, Sue reveals she's pregnant, and joy overwhelms the team. The team starts preparing for the baby's arrival. They tidy up their surroundings, study parenting basics, and embrace the new role awaiting them. A question lingers. Will the child inherit superpowers or be an ordinary human? During an ultrasound visit, a cosmic signal interrupts the moment. Sue learns that Reed tasked Herby with assembling a crib, fearing the child might have genetic anomalies or powers. Reed believes they must take precautions due to unpredictable consequences, but Sue, with calm resolve, refuses to rely on a machine. Using her abilities, she shows Reed a clear vision of the baby in her womb, a perfectly normal boy, at least on the surface. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, Ben Grimm, the Thing, strolls among passers-by. A group of children approaches him in awe, asking him to lift a car just for fun. With a grin, Ben obliges, delighting the kids with his feat of strength. That evening, as the team gathers and things seem to settle, the sky tears open. Something unknown descends from above. Johnny, engulfed in flames, soars to investigate and witnesses an alarming scene. A powerful figure, Shalabal, arrives on Earth, sowing chaos in her wake. The Fantastic Four quickly assembles to confront the threat. In a solemn tone, Shalabal declares that this planet is doomed, soon to be consumed by an unstoppable force. Stopping the devourer of worlds, she claims, is impossible. All that remains is to accept the end. She urges everyone to embrace their loved ones and confess their truths while time remains. With a grave voice and no hesitation, she proclaims the beginning of the end. Not a warning, but a verdict. She announces the arrival of Galactus. Johnny pursues Shalabal, but when he catches up, she effortlessly repels him with a single motion. Facing this imminent threat, the Fantastic Four begins tracking her movements. Their investigation uncovers a disturbing pattern. Several planets have vanished without a trace, all linked by the same energy signature. Shalabal was present on each of those worlds. Johnny reveals that during their brief encounter, she spoke in an unknown language he couldn't understand. Later, he studies ancient interstellar language records, and after a thorough search, identifies a language similar to hers. Meanwhile, Mr. Fantastic unveils new suits for the team, crafted with cutting-edge technology. The safety of the team and their unborn child is now the top priority. The Fantastic Four reappears in public at a grand event. Reed Richards takes the stage, declaring that today they will return to space as humanity's protectors to save it. They set off, leaving Earth behind, soon plunging into deep space at speeds exceeding light. They search for Galactus, though no one knows exactly what this colossal entity looks like. During their search, their radars detect a massive energy anomaly. They follow the signal to a planet being mercilessly consumed, its inhabitants obliterated. Mr. Fantastic calculates that Galactus's ship is 13% larger than Earth, underscoring the scale of the threat. Sue Storm, using her invisibility, infiltrates the massive structure, but her presence is detected. Galactus, an entity of unfathomable power, scans them one by one, including the child in Sue's womb. Shalabal reappears, solemnly announcing that Galactus is ready to receive them. She adds that they should not have come. Landing, the heroes prepare to face the unknown. They instruct their trusty robot, Herbie, to collect samples for analysis, but Shalabal coldly explains that Galactus doesn't choose which planets to devour. That's her task and her curse. Johnny approaches her to ask about the words she spoke when she knocked him off his board. Shalabal gazes at him impassively and replies that it was a blessing in her language, meaning, die with your own. Finally, they stand before Galactus, the fearsome devourer of worlds. To their surprise, he doesn't destroy them immediately. Instead, he grants them his attention. Galactus reveals that he was once like them, small, fragile human, millions of years ago, before a cosmic hunger consumed him, transforming him into the devouring entity he is today. With indifferent majesty, he states that they've come from afar to plead for mercy. He believes they think they're worthy of saving their world, but his interest lies not in them, but in their unborn child. Galactus proclaims that this child, the son of Sue Storm and Reed Richards, is the key, a vessel of ancient cosmic energy on the verge of awakening. Galactus offers to spare Earth if they surrender the child. In return, he will halt the destruction. This child is Franklin Richards. In Cosmic Chronicles, he's known as an Omega-level mutant, bearer of colossal abilities, including reality manipulation and vast psionic powers. In many possible futures, he's considered one of the universe's most powerful beings. But for now, that power lies dormant, hidden in his unborn form. At that moment, Sue Storm goes into labor. Her water breaks, and birth is imminent. With a booming voice, Galactus delivers his verdict. He will slowly consume Earth, forcing their son to witness it all. Shalabal, his herald, blocks their escape. A fight erupts. The Fantastic Four temporarily disables her and races to their ship. They flee at full speed, but Shalabal doesn't relent, pursuing them through the cosmic void at light speed, a power she also wields. During the chase, she tries to breach the ship to seize the child. Johnny Storm moves to stop her, but doubts hold him back. Since their first encounter, something in him has shifted. He feels drawn to her, captivated, and can't bring himself to attack. Physics also works against him. Light speed distorts his attacks, rendering them ineffective. The team executes a new plan. They lower the intensity of their speed field, a risky move that could trap them in chronospace, but they have no choice. In those fleeting seconds, Sue Storm uses her powers to render the ship invisible. It's enough. They throw Shalabal off, and she becomes trapped in the unstable currents of hyperspace. The immediate threat is neutralized, but time is against them. They lack the fuel to return to Earth quickly. Sue, exhausted and in pain, can't wait any longer. She begins to push, with Reed gently supporting her. And so, in chronospace, where time and matter bend like paper, Franklin Richards is born, a new being, enveloped in light and cosmic silence, who may one day alter the fate of the universe. After a month away, the Fantastic Four return to Earth. Their ship lands and crowds gather to greet them. Cheers, applause, and tears fill the streets. To the people, their return signals victory. They believe the team defeated Galactus, but the heroes emerge with somber faces. Mr. Fantastic steps forward and, amid the noise, reveals the harsh truth. Galactus is not defeated. He explains that he negotiated with him, but the price was unthinkable: their newborn son. Meanwhile, Shalabal escapes her hyperspace prison and returns to her master. Unfazed, Galactus reminds her that both she and the child possess immeasurable power, but Franklin Richards is the key. a being of infinite might who could sate his eternal hunger and let him rest. Shalla-Bal must find the child and bring him to him. Reed Richards, devastated, admits he faced an entity beyond human logic. Galactus sees Franklin not as a child, but as his successor, the perfect vessel for his cosmic curse. Amid the turmoil, Johnny approaches his sister with his helmet, which holds Shalla-Bal's words. He reveals he recognized her voice from old interstellar language recordings. With this knowledge, he believes he can help Mr. Fantastic uncover Shalla-Bal's true nature. But then, news reports erupt with growing public outrage. Crowds demand the child be sacrificed to save the planet. Stepping before them, Sue firmly declares that her son is not a sacrifice but part of their family, one they'll fight for. She adds that she wouldn't sacrifice her child to save Earth, nor let Earth perish to protect only her own. Before millions, she makes her choice. They will fight, not out of duty or for glory, but for what truly matters. They'll fight for their son, for humanity, for the future. The crowd roars in agreement. Mr. Fantastic assures them he has a final solution: relocate Earth to a place so remote that Galactus can never find it. He reveals he's built an interdimensional bridge, though so far he's only managed to move an egg a few meters. Despite this, he shares his bold plan with humanity: shift the entire planet to a corner of the universe where it will remain hidden for millions of years. Using all available resources and humanity's active cooperation. Meanwhile, Johnny fully decodes Shalla-Bal's encrypted message in her ancient language. They begin their plan to relocate Earth. But just as things proceed smoothly, Shalla-Bal reappears, sabotaging the connections and halting the critical process. Johnny, keeping his cool, confronts her. He plays intercepted deep space transmissions in her native tongue, revealing he's uncovered her history by piecing together fragments of her language. He knows she was a brilliant scientist who, when Galactus came to her world, offered eternal loyalty to save her family. He accepted and transformed her. Those transmissions were thanks from the only planet Galactus spared. Confronted with the truth, Johnny reminds her that she led Galactus to all those destroyed worlds and now guides him to Earth. Shalla-Bal, overcome with guilt, leaves, visibly shaken. Johnny follows, trying to reach her humanity. He says he's only trying to protect his planet, as she once did. Emotionally broken, she demands the child, insisting that if Franklin were older, he'd sacrifice himself as she did. Johnny offers to take the child's place, but she refuses, saying it's not his sacrifice to make. After heated discussions, the heroes devise a new plan. Instead of moving the planet away from the giant, they'll send the giant away from the planet. The key is to separate Galactus from his ship, the source of his energy and navigation. If their calculations are correct, they'll cast him to the farthest reaches of the universe. Without his ship, he'll be trapped in the boundless void of space. Sue believes the strategy is promising, but warns of a critical condition. They must use Franklin's power. At first, the others refuse, but the lack of alternatives forces them to reconsider. To refine the operation, they call in the Mole Man, an expert in subterranean levels. He'll lead the evacuation of the population to underground shelters, safe from the impending battle. Under his guidance, thousands descend into the depths while the surface prepares for the final moment. The Fantastic Four bring little Franklin to the rendezvous point, leaving him alone in the key zone as bait. They wait in silence. Galactus descends from his ship, majestic and silent, scanning the area for the child. His presence distorts the atmosphere, making the air tremble. As he touches the ground, the Fantastic Four executes their maneuver, attacking from all sides to destabilize him and lure him into the trap. But they soon grasped the scale of the challenge. Galactus is eternal, impossible to wound, blind, or even slow. His power defies known limits. For a moment, the trap seems to work, but the Titan halts. Rising slowly, he booms, "Treacherous worms," and directs his scan to the child's location. When Galactus finally finds the baby, he advances with giant strides, but the heroes won't let him take him. One by one, they stand in his way, ready to stop him at any cost. Yet the Devourer's power is overwhelming. With one motion, he hurls Ben Grimm beyond the battlefield. Johnny, without hesitation, rushes to save his friend. Meanwhile, Mr. Fantastic faces Galactus alone. With resolve, he tries to restrain him using his elastic body, but the giant seizes him in one hand, stretching him to test his endurance with almost scientific coldness. He nearly tears him apart until Ben and Johnny return just in time to intervene. Taking advantage of the chaos, Galactus moves toward the child. He lifts him and whispers, "You are my liberation. It is time to feed." But he underestimates a mother's strength. Sue Storm, fueled by rage and love, unleashes her full power. Her maternal fury releases an invisible, deadly energy. She begins pushing Galactus back with waves of force, gradually weakening him, forcing him to retreat. With precision and courage, she guides him to the point where the interdimensional trap is set. Johnny, watching from afar, waits. As Galactus steps into the designated spot, he activates the mechanism. A flash of energy engulfs the cosmic titan. In an instant, the plan succeeds. Galactus is consumed and cast to the farthest reaches of the universe. As calculated, the child is saved by his father, but Sue collapses. The effort of wielding such power pushing her to the brink of exhaustion. Just when it seems over, the Earth trembles. Galactus returns. From within the dimension where he was sent, he tries to break free. A crack appears, and within seconds, he threatens to escape. Johnny, without hesitation, prepares to sacrifice himself, knowing there's no other way. Looking back at his team, he offers a strained smile and says, "Tell the kid his Uncle Johnny loves him." He's ready to leap into the rift, but Shalabal appears. Without hesitation, she pushes Johnny aside and dives into the breach. In a final act of redemption, she sacrifices herself, dragging Galactus into the abyss with her. The team rushes to Sue Storm. She lies breathless, her body seemingly drained. Reed, her husband, tries to revive her, pleading for her to return, but it's in vain. She doesn't respond. Then their little son grows restless. Struggling in a teammate's arms, he reaches for his mother, as if sensing her absence beyond the physical. Seeing his reaction, they place him beside Sue's lifeless body. In that moment, something extraordinary happens. A warm, almost celestial energy radiates from the child. Suddenly, Sue Storm's heart beats again. A breath fills her lungs, and she opens her eyes. She's alive. Franklin, as if aware of what he's done, claps his hands with innocent joy. Sue looks at him, tears trembling in her eyes, then turns to Reed and, in a weak but awe-filled voice, says, "I felt it. I felt his energy. Our son isn't like us. He's far more powerful. The planet is saved. The child is safe. And now the mother has returned thanks to him. The mission is complete." The Fantastic Four, now a 5-strong family, reunites with the crowd. People cheer, celebrating their heroism. As a gesture of gratitude, they're given a tiny suit embroidered with a 5 on the chest, a symbolic nod to the newest family member. But Reed and Sue smile and decline. It's too soon. Franklin is still a baby. As they're about to be officially presented to the world, their communicators blare with an alert, and without a word, they vanish. The film ends here, but there's a post-credits scene. 4 years later, on a quiet evening, Sue Storm sits at home in a cozy armchair, Franklin on her lap. The boy listens intently as his mother reads him a book. Everything feels calm. Sue steps away briefly to grab another book from the shelf. She's gone for only a few seconds, but when she returns, Franklin isn't alone. A figure in a hooded cloak, face hidden behind a mask, stands silently before him. It appears to be Doctor Doom. The Fantastic Four. First Steps wraps its epic narrative with a powerful finale that leaves a lasting impact. The scene where Sue Storm, driven by maternal instinct, confronts Galactus, and Shalabal sacrifices herself to save Earth, brims with drama and emotion. Franklin Richards' birth and his unexpected display of power add depth and hint at a grand future. The post-credit scene, with a mysterious figure resembling Doctor Doom, promises an exciting continuation in Avengers. Doomsday. I love the film. The retro-futuristic 1960s aesthetic, the team's charismatic dynamic, and the emotional fight for family create a unique atmosphere. While some moments, like Shalabal's motivations, could have been explored more deeply, the visual effects and family drama make the story captivating. I highly recommend watching the film in full. It not only reimagines the Fantastic Four, but delivers vibrant emotions that grip you from the opening minutes to the final credits.